Some students were moved out of their housing due to flooding last night. We'll have live updates on how the Village Promenade is responding.
And results of severe weather overnight left some in Muncie without power. Hear what residents had to say about the situation.
And we're almost 25 degrees cooler from 24 hours ago. I'll let you know how cool it gets in just a few minutes. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Brittany Ehrman.
And I'm Tony Sandlaben. Thanks for joining us.
Last night's heavy rains brought plenty of flooding throughout the state, but that wasn't the cause for flooding at the Village Promenade.
NewsLink Indiana's Abby Lutz is there now to tell us more. Abby?
Well, there's still a lot of frustration from students at Village Promenade after 3 floors in that building flooded last night. And as though the standing water isn't enough, residents still aren't being told the cause.
And water just started gushing from basically every hole in the ceiling.
Village Promenade resident Brian Beam described a crackling sound before noticing the water coming through his ceiling. He says the only reason he didn't have water standing in his apartment was because he immediately put trash cans out.
We ran out of trash cans after a while because it just kept coming out of more and more places in the ceiling.
Beam says the water leak started on the 3rd floor, creating a trickle-down effect on the lower levels. He also said firefighters were at his door within an hour.
They were saying that we needed to evacuate just in case there might be any electrical damage.
Village Promenade maintenance provided rooms at the Courtyard Marriott downtown for all the residents affected.
They're doing a good job of making sure that everything is safe, and they're doing everything they can to make it better.
Beam says he was able to return to his room today. Fans covered the floors and maintenance workers were making sure everything was safe. But he says the Village Promenade has yet to contact residents, giving an explanation to how the flooding started. Village Promenade General Manager Ashley Coates declined to comment, and despite Beam's claims, the Muncie Fire Department said they were unaware of the situation. Live in Muncie, Abby Lutz, NewsLink Indiana.
Well, last night into the early morning, storms swept across the state and some Muncie residents lost power. The National Weather Service issued a tornado watch for Delaware and Randolph counties around 2 a.m. High winds knocked down trees and took out power for more than 2,000 residents. And as of 8 o'clock this morning, a little less than 200 homes were still without power, and some were still without power into the late afternoon, which left them without hot water, internet, cable, and heat. Trucks and linemen were working on fixing the poles and power lines all this morning.
It wasn't until this morning that we figured out why the power went out. Last night I charged my phone on my laptop, and then my laptop was dead, but I had class this morning, so I just charged that during class. But now my phone is dead again.
In campus news, it's a good chance Ball State's campus could be getting a new addition. The community attended a bicycle master plan presentation this afternoon that presented different ideas on photos and blueprints that encourage cycling. Take a look. Wheels were turning in the Student Center as representatives from Rundell Ernest Berger Associates used colorful diagrams and designs to showcase Ball State as a more bike-friendly campus. The new plan highlights bike parking, connections to future trails, and bike lanes. The goal? To make each pathway more efficient for both bicyclists and pedestrians to get from home to work in a more efficient way. CCOM professor Tim Underhill has been cycling since 1990 and says bike lanes aren't the best idea. He says he's very worried about the part of the plan because in his eyes, they aren't necessary.
When I ride on the streets, I ride in the road where the cars ride because I'm a vehicle as well. I claim my lane. That's why I tell everyone I instruct in cycling, I say, claim your lane. Ride your bicycle where the right tire of a car would go.
But some students feel it can help. After looking over survey results about the master plan, the architecture firm concluded that the largest conflict point among cyclists, pedestrians, and vehicles was on McKinley Avenue. One of the firm's associates, Daniel Liggett, says they have many ideas in place to fix those problems.
What our plan for the preliminary network looks at, not putting any facility on the sidewalks there, and basically putting bikes on, focusing them to the cow path and to a new East Mall connection.
And one way they plan to fix the conflict point is to implement 2 lanes here on the cow path, one for pedestrians and one for bicyclists, to create an efficient way to get to class. Underhill says it's not about adding different bike paths and lanes, but the real problem is the lack of education.
We need to educate cyclists. We need to educate drivers. That's the problem. Bicycles are vehicles and should be treated as such, and cyclists should react and ride as vehicles.
And Tony, they're still in the planning stage of this plan, and once they present this to the board, they'll then decide what they think is best for campus, but we can't expect to see anything for the next 10 years.
Well, always interesting to see some campus development. 10 years from now, though, you and I hopefully will be long gone by that point. But one development where we should be around to see, after 3 debates and 2 days of voting, Ball State University elected its new executive board yesterday.
NewsLink Indiana's Emerson Lehman is live in the newsroom with more on what's next. Emerson?
Thanks, Tony and Brittany. With the 2017 election season officially over, Optic now enters the transition period before being inaugurated and taking over as the SGA Executive Board on April 19th. Current SGA President James Wells and President-elect Greg Carbo spoke with NewsLink Indiana today and discussed their expectations for the transition period ahead.
Glad that Optic is able to meet with us tonight as one of our regular bi-weekly exec board meetings, and so we wanted to start immediately, give them an overview of our job and to begin to lay down the groundwork for the next couple of weeks of transitions. I know it's going to be smooth, but I know it's going to be exciting as we help Optic get their cabinet ready in position as we prepare the final events on Inauguration Day.
Carbo says he and his slate are excited for Inauguration Day, ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, well, Inauguration Day is going to be something that's going to be just a fantastic experience. I'm excited for the spring break, to be honest, just to go on the beach, relax, hang out, just kind of relax and take that time to kind of recuperate, and then just kind of hit the ground running. Really, just start planning out. One thing we're really wanting to talk about is getting a big calendar and just start setting dates. This is when we're going to try to meet up with these people and figure out where we're all going to go as an organizational standpoint.
All the members of Optic met with Wells and the rest of the current executive board this evening to begin preparation for April 19th and beyond. Live in the newsroom, I'm Emerson Lehman, NewsLink, Indiana.
All right, thanks, Emerson. Well, Muncie Community Schools' financial situation is still at a standstill. Both the school board and the Teachers Association left one last negotiating effort today with no deal. This means it is now up to the state government to decide which of the final best offers the district will go with. The board and Teachers Association submitted their final offers on February 24th. The details of the Teachers Association's proposal can be seen here. Their total proposed cuts are around $3.02 million. The board's offer is a little bit more drastic, proposing $5 million in cuts in the 2015-16 contract and $4.5 million in cuts in the 2016-17 contract. The Indiana Education Employment Relations Board is expected to announce a hearing date and appoint a fact finder to help with the decision on Friday. And now, Brittany, due to all of this tension that's been going on between the board and the Teachers Association, there's been a number of protests, including one outside of Southside Middle School last night, despite all that windy weather, all that rainy weather, which hopefully we're going to see go away here shortly.
Absolutely. I mean, I was literally blown away by how cold and windy it was today. I couldn't believe it. So, Kaylee, is it safe to know I'll be able to stand up straight tomorrow without the wind?
Yeah, Brittany, we are going to see the winds decrease, but we're going to have to get through tonight with those gusty winds. We're taking a look here right on McKinley Avenue. Beautiful, but still, again, a very windy night. We're seeing currently 37 degrees here in Muncie, winds 30 miles per hour currently. Across the rest of the state, we're seeing 40 in Indianapolis and 41 in Bloomington. All of your full weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. Well, coming up, one Ball State facility has received a major upgrade.
Plus, the reward in the Delphi murder case has climbed to over $200,000. Find out which Indianapolis celebrities helped donate to the cause.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. A Muncie man was arrested for panhandling over the weekend. Local residents reported they were approached by a man in the parking lot of the Northwest Shopping Plaza. According to the Star Press, Jeffrey Allen Stoner was arrested on misdemeanor charges Sunday after collecting donations for reward in the slaying of 2 Delphi teenagers. The police report says Stoner approached 2 people as they drove in the parking lot and asked for cash. Stoner has been convicted of criminal trespassing at least 6 times, most recently being last September. The Muncie man was also convicted of child molestation in Madison County in 1990. And records show that Stoner has been booked into Delaware County Jail nearly 80 times for multiple violations of the law.
Well, as of Tuesday, no arrests have been made in the murders of 2 Delphi teenagers. 14-year-old Abigail Williams and 13-year-old Liberty German were found dead on a trail in Delphi on February 14th. The reward in the murder has climbed to $211,000. Former Indianapolis Colts punter Pat McAfee and Colts owner Jim Irsay said they have donated around $100,000, doubling the previous reward. Area businesses are welcome to contribute to the reward. You can make checks payable to the Indiana State Police Alliance Foundation.
And the Cooper Science Complex and Planetarium has just finished installing new technology. NewsLink Indiana's Brittany Carlin has more on that story.
Ball State has updated the old planetarium, adding a full dome media lab for students. I spoke with Ron Kachuk, director of the Charles Brown Planetarium, about this new technology.
This is a place where students and even faculty can create the digital content that goes in the big dome.
Having this space available allows students to create animation not only of space, but of landmarks, buildings, and even cartoons. I spoke with Adam Kobitz, an animation designer, about what he thinks.
I like working in the dome a lot. It's definitely a different way to display your media. It's much more immersive than just displaying on a flat screen, and you can actually get your audience a little bit more involved.
By having this technology, it allows for more hands-on experience by students.
You want to do it in here rather than on a flat screen monitor is that you really don't know what it looks like until you actually see it in the real dome. Flat screens do not give you any sense of how the audience is enveloped and whether all the seams are going to match up on your imaging and that sort of thing.
Some of the works created in this dome can be seen during the upcoming events at the planetarium. In Muncie, I'm Brittany Carlin, NewsLink Indiana.
If you would like to see a show at the planetarium, visit bsu.edu/planetarium for more information. And Kaylee, what's coming up in weather?
Well, current radar right now, we're starting to see those showers move out, but I'll let you know when we possibly could see some snow and some more rain. All that and more, stay right there. Your full weather forecast is next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. So Tony, when I was on my way to class today, I could not believe it that I felt like I was going to be blown across the street. Like I couldn't stand up straight, and I'm not exaggerating at all.
Well, even driving to campus, I thought my car was going to tip over. You know, the wind was very strong. Kaylee Pluchel, please tell us this wind is going to calm down here at some point soon.
Yeah, we'll start to see that wind calm down tomorrow evening, but we do have a special advisory out tonight with those high wind gusts that could possibly get up to 40 miles per hour. But currently, Muncie sitting at 37 degrees. Again, high winds, west winds at 30 miles per hour, making it feel like 24 degrees out there. Current temperatures across the state, we're seeing 42 in Shelbyville, 40 in Indianapolis, 36 in Lafayette, and 35 in Kokomo. Now, 24-hour temperature changes, 26 degrees cooler here in Muncie, 24 in Indianapolis, and 25 degrees cooler in Bloomington. Much different than when we saw those severe storms move throughout yesterday. Now, tonight, expect a low near freezing, around 32 degrees, overcast skies, but we could still see those pop-up showers throughout the evening. Again, the winds are going to be the big story of tonight, 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting up to 40 miles per hour. So definitely be aware of that as you're driving out this evening. Now, forecasted wind chills, this is here Thursday at 3 a.m. We're seeing feeling like 16 in Winchester, 17 in Portland, 18 here in Muncie, and 19 in Anderson. So you're going to want to dust off that winter coat because these are going to be here to stay for at least the next few days. This is here at 10 a.m. Still feeling like 23 in Winchester, 24 in Muncie. As we move throughout the rest of Thursday, we're seeing mid-20s to 30s feeling like, so definitely going to need that winter coat, maybe a hat and gloves out the door. Now tomorrow, a high of 40 degrees with cloudy skies. We still could see some pop-up rain showers tomorrow evening as well. The winds are still going to stay pretty heavy, around 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 20 miles per hour as well. Again, here 1 a.m. we're gusting up to 22 in Winchester, 20 here in Muncie. Moving forward a few hours, we're seeing 9 a.m. around 15 in Winchester, 13 in Muncie, so tapering off a little bit before we ramp back up almost to 20, and then by tomorrow evening, those winds will start to get a little bit lower, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, 7-day forecast. Again, we're seeing 40 degrees tomorrow, chilly Friday, but partly cloudy skies, 35 degrees. Saturday, we could see a few flurries in the morning as you're waking up, but we're going to start to see that warm up, and definitely warmer for Sunday, around 55, and by next week, we're back to the mid-50s and 60s.
All right, well, thank you very much, Kaylee. Josh, seems like some pretty busy schedule with the basketball team. What's going on in sports?
Well, the women's team is over in Eastern Michigan taking on the Eagles tonight, and the men's the men's volleyball team took on the Grand Canyon Antelopes. Highlights from both those games and more when we come back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
And welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Josh Shelton with your sports news. Ball State's women's basketball team is underway tonight as they take on Eastern Michigan. The Cardinals look to extend a 3-game win streak as the regular season comes to a close. And Eastern Michigan came out firing as Phyllis Webb gets the ball here and knocks down a long-range 3, putting the Eagles up 10 in the first quarter. Ball State would come back, though. Carmen Grande hands it off here to Mariah Monaco, who sinks the 3 and reaches 1,000 career points. In the third quarter, Jill Morrison here feeds it down low to Renee Bennett, who makes the layup, draws the foul. Ball State would go on to win it 64-54, improving to 14-3 in the MAC. Last night, the men's basketball team took home the win in Toledo behind Taylor Persons 31 points. The Cardinals have 1 game remaining as they try to snatch up a top seed in the tournament. The key to the team's success this year has been winning games on the road. Over the last 2 years, Ball State is the only team in the MAC West with more wins than losses in away games. The Cardinals boast a 7-3 record, while the next best team's record, Northern Illinois, is only 3-6. NewsLink Indiana caught up with Sean Sellers to find the secret to their road success.
I don't have a solution for that. Maybe it's just we come out more focused, because it's just us. We don't really have, what I'm saying? It's just us. Not really any fans. Yeah, just about 7 or 8 people from Ball State there. So that might be the biggest thing, but I think it's just our focus. It's something we obviously still need to get better at.
And here's a look at the standings in the MAC as the postseason approaches. The Cardinals need to win Friday night against the Northern Illinois Huskies. If the Cardinals win, they would also need a Kent State loss or loss from 2 other teams like Ohio and Western Michigan. A top 4 finish would give Ball State a first-round bye in the tournament. And over in Northern, Ball State takes on Grand Canyon in the first of a 2-game series. The Lopes trail by 2. But here is Drake Silbernagel, who hammers down the kill to get his team on the board. Later on, Matt Walsh jumps up and denies the attack. It would be his first of many blocks. And then we're going to see Walsh again here. He gets the kill that is inside the 10-foot line. And then game point, Matt Shevs winds up, and he will slam this one home, gives the Cards the first set win. They would go on to win it 3 sets tonight. Football season doesn't start until August, but Ball State announced its schedule today. The schedule features 6 home games and the 4th straight season opener against a Big Ten team. The first 3 home games will be played on Saturday, and the next 3 are played on Thursday and Tuesday. 1 game to watch will be the final Saturday game against Central Michigan. The last 3 meetings between the 2 teams have been decided by 3 points or less. The schedule also features the first Redbird rivalry between the Ball State Cardinals and the Miami Redhawks. It is the final home game of the regular season and will be available nationally on ESPNU. Now, it may be early for football season, but I'm starting to get excited, and I can't wait to see the Ball State team and how they bounce back from last season.
Well, certainly really good to see some outer conference opponents, Illinois, the Big Ten, that sort of thing. But that Central Michigan matchup, that'll be a lot of fun to watch.
That'll be the one I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Josh. After the break, find out what DreamWorks film is getting a sequel.
Plus, we're talking Olympics 2024. Your entertainment news is next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
What's up, guys? I'm Katie Parker with everything happening in the entertainment industry today. First up, if you love percussion and a good beat, you might want to stomp into Emmons Auditorium tomorrow evening. The award-winning percussion show will perform live at Ball State University this Thursday at 7:30. Stomp's show includes garbage cans, matchboxes, and other household objects to bring sound and rhythm to the room. Tickets to Stomp can be purchased at the Emmons box office, charged by phone at 800-745-3000 or online at Ticketmaster.com. Well, it seems that Universal's DreamWorks just can't stop the feeling. The studio announced recently that it will release a sequel to their popular movie Trolls. The release date has been set for 2020, which was a date Universal had previously reserved for an untitled event film. Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick, the voices of Branch and Poppy, will reprise their roles in the sequel. And last up, the Olympics might be one thing Hollywood loves more than the Oscars. Disney, Fox, NBC Universal, and Warner Brothers are officially on board with what could be one of the biggest events in the next several years, the 2024 Olympics in Los Angeles. Casey Wasserman, an executive in the effort to get the Olympic Games to Los Angeles, said yesterday that they want to amplify the unique power of LA's storytellers to promote the Games. Since Budapest has withdrawn their bid to host the Games, the chances of Los Angeles winning is 50-50 with Paris as their only opponent. The final decision will be made in September. And that's all I have for you in entertainment news today. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. Now, Kaylee, let's take one last look at weather.
Yeah, we're going to continue to have those very windy conditions this evening and into tomorrow, but those will taper out tomorrow evening. Again, a high of 40 degrees tomorrow. We could still see some evening rain chances again. Friday is the coldest day of this 7-day forecast, around 35 degrees, but partly cloudy skies to start out spring break if you're heading anywhere. Saturday, if you're still here, you may wake up to a few flurries, but we're starting to get that warm up around the mid-40s. By Sunday, we're going to be close to 60, and then back again on Monday. We've got some more rain chances in store, but we'll be back in the mid-50s to even the 60s by next week. Now, spring does start into the next 19 days, so we're still in winter for now, so still seeing a few of those snow showers, but hopefully spring will be here soon.
Well, starting out spring break with some flurries,
Yes.
that's just, come on, Kaylee. I always tell you meteorologists, you guys control the weather. So, when this happens, I'm always like, what's going on?
I try my best, You're trying to confuse people with the flurries in spring break.
Well, we appreciate it, Kaylee. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.